When you go 16 hours without eating, something remarkable begins to happen inside your body. Something so profound that most doctors either don't talk about it or dismiss it altogether because it doesn't fit neatly into a prescription or a pill bottle. But if you give your body just that window of rest from food, you ignite a cascade of healing processes that can't be measured in a single lab test. It's as if your body finally gets the chance to breathe, repair, and show you what it was designed to do all along. Think about it. Most people eat the moment they wake up, then keep snacking or grazing every couple of hours until they fall asleep. Their digestive system never rests. Their insulin levels stay high, their fat burning switch never turns on, and their cells are constantly processing incoming food instead of repairing the damage of yesterday. 16 hours of fasting changes that story. It flips the script. At the heart of this change is something we call metabolic flexibility. Your body is designed to switch between two primary fuel sources, sugar and fat. Most people are stuck burning sugar because they never stop eating, never let insulin drop, never give fat burning a chance to ignite. But when you close that eating window to just 8 hours and you fast for 16, you force your body to dip into fat stores. You're no longer relying on quick burning kindling like glucose. You're tapping into the slow, steady firewood that is your stored body fat. And here's the part that so many people can't believe until they experience it for themselves. That mental fog you've been living with starts to lift. That mid-afternoon crash that sends you running for caffeine or sugar, it starts to vanish. When your brain runs on ketones, the fuel produced during fasting and fat burning, it's like shifting from an old flickering light bulb to a bright LED spotlight. Focus sharpens. Memory feels clearer. Energy levels become stable instead of spiking and crashing. People describe it as calm energy, like being plugged into a steady current instead of riding a roller coaster. But fasting 16 hours isn't just about burning fat or improving focus. Deep within your cells, something even more miraculous begins. Old damaged proteins, misfolded structures, and dysfunctional mitochondria, the little powerhouses of your cells, start getting cleaned up. The process is called autophagy, which literally means self-eating. Your body identifies what's broken, what's no longer useful, and begins recycling it for parts. Imagine walking into a cluttered garage where broken tools, rusty bikes, and old boxes are piled everywhere. Now imagine clearing out the junk, repairing what's salvageable, and creating space for new, functional equipment. That's what fasting triggers inside you. Doctors often scratch their heads because this isn't something you can prescribe in a bottle. There's no pharmaceutical company packaging autophagy into a pill. It's an ancient mechanism built into your DNA, waiting to be unlocked. And it doesn't take years of complicated treatment. It just takes 16 hours of letting your body rest from food. I want you to picture your blood sugar like a wave. In the standard eating pattern, breakfast at 7, snack at 10, lunch at noon, another snack at 3, dinner at 7, dessert at 9, that wave is constantly crashing. You're never in still water. Insulin spikes up, drops, spikes again, drops again. Over time, this roller coaster leads to weight gain, fatigue, and inflammation. But with fasting, that wave flattens. Insulin levels drop and stay low long enough to allow your fat-burning pathways to awaken. It's like finally stepping off the seesaw and standing on steady ground. Now, one of the most exciting things about fasting 16 hours is what happens to inflammation. Chronic inflammation is the root of so many modern health problems: joint pain, skin issues, digestive troubles, even mood disorders. When you fast, markers of inflammation start to decline. Your gut lining gets a chance to heal. The immune system recalibrates. Your joints feel looser, lighter. People who struggle with bloating suddenly notice their stomach flattening, not because they've lost a ton of fat overnight, but because the fire of inflammation has been dialed down. And let's talk about cravings, because that's where most people get stuck. When you're constantly eating, you're constantly feeding those cravings. Your body never has a reason to reset its relationship with food. But when you fast for 16 hours, something almost magical happens. Your hunger hormones like ghrelin and leptin start to balance out. You're no longer a prisoner to every craving that comes knocking. Food begins to taste different. Sweet things taste sweeter. Simple, wholesome meals become more satisfying. You gain control instead of feeling controlled. That's freedom. For so many years, the conversation around health has revolved around eating less, cutting calories, avoiding fat, or counting points. But fasting is not about restriction. It's about rhythm. It's about giving your body the gift of time to switch gears, time to heal, time to tap into a wisdom that is encoded into your very biology. 16 hours isn't deprivation. It's alignment. Some people worry that fasting will make them weak, tired, or sluggish. But the opposite happens. When you're burning fat and producing ketones, you're tapping into a fuel source that's clean, efficient, and abundant. Think of a hybrid car switching from gasoline to electric mode. You suddenly run smoother, quieter, longer. You don't hit empty because your fat reserves are vast, even if you're lean. This is why our ancestors could go days without food and still hunt, gather, and survive. They weren't crippled by hunger, they were sharpened by it. Now, I'm not saying the first day or two will feel effortless. Your body needs to adjust. If you've been sugar burning for decades, you're going to feel those cravings and that pull. But if you push through, if you give yourself those 16 hours consistently, something shifts, the body adapts, the brain rewires. Suddenly, fasting isn't something you're forcing yourself to do. It becomes something your body craves because it feels so much better running this way. And I can't emphasize enough the ripple effect this has on your entire life. When your energy stabilizes, when your brain sharpens, when your cravings die down, everything changes. You're more present with your family. You're more productive at work. You feel lighter, not just in your body, but in your spirit. You're not chained to constant snacking, not ruled by the next hit of sugar or caffeine. You're free to live on your terms. Doctors may not be able to fully explain it, but you don't need a textbook to feel it. You just need to experience it. And the beauty is, anyone can. You don't need expensive supplements, complicated gadgets, or the latest trendy diet. You just need time. 16 hours, that's the doorway. Step through it, and your body will show you what it's been capable of all along. And as you begin this journey, remember, this isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Maybe you start with 12 hours, then stretch it to 14, then 16. Maybe some days are easier than others. That's okay. Every time you choose to give your body that window of rest, you're casting a vote for healing, for clarity, for strength. So here's the question I want to leave you with. What could your life look like if you stopped fighting against your biology and started working with it? What doors would open if your body was no longer burdened by constant digestion, but energized by deep repair? 16 hours can be the key to unlocking that future, and it's waiting for you right now.